Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Ostrike, and today is our first day of online learning. We will be working on lesson 8.2 in your Go Math book, page 461. Our essential question is, how can you write a product of a whole number as a fraction, as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction? Okay, let's see. Let's look at our problem. Jen is making 4 pans of baked ziti. For each pan, she needs 2/3 of a cup of cheese. Her measuring cup can scoop 1/3 cup of cheese. How many scoops of cheese does she need for all 4 pans? Okay, to begin with this, we're going to use a model to write. I'm going to just move this down here. Example 1. Use a model to write the product of 4 times 2/3. She's making 4 pans, and she needs 2/3 of a cup of cheese for each pan. Let's write it as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So what do we know here? We know 2/3 is equal to 1/3, 1/3, plus 1/3, or 2 times 1/3. So for 1 pan, she needs 2 times 1/3. However, there are 4 pans. Just move this again. There are 4 pans of baked ziti. So each pan needs 2/3. So for the first pan, what we need is 1/3 and 1/3 for the first pan. The second pan also, we need 1/3 plus 1/3, and we have 2 times 1/3. Now for the third pan, we need another 1/3 and another 1/3. And for the fourth pan, 1/3 and 1/3. Okay, so what do we have here? For the 4 pans of cheese, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1/3. So the way we can write this is 4 times 2/3 is equal to 4 times 2 times 1/3, which is equal to 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 1/3, which is 8/3. So Jen needs 8/3 side scoops of cheese for 4 pans of ziti. Okay, well, they did this a little bit. It's a little complicated here. I'm just going to show you an easier way to do this. The problem is 4 times 2/3, which is equal to, when you multiply straight across, and you leave the denominator the same. So 4 times 2 is 8/3. Okay, let's try a different one. Let's say the problem is 6 times 4/5, which is equal to 6 times 4 is 24/5. And that is how you multiply a whole number by a fraction. You multiply the numerator of the fraction by the whole number, and you leave the denominator the same. Okay. Easy enough. Let's turn to page 462. Okay. Now we're going to use a number line to write the multiples of 2/5. So we have our number line, and our number line is broken up into fifths. And to use the number line to write multiples of 2/5, you begin with 2/5. Since your numerator is 2's, you go by 2's. So 1 times 2/5, 2 times 2/5, 3 times 2/5, 4 times 2/5, which is 8/5. And then one more. 5 times 2/5 is 10/5. So let's see, what are the multiples of 2/5 are 2/5 by 4/5, 6/5, 8/5, and 10/5. When you're doing multiples, you multiply the numerator by that amount. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2. Stop. Oh, so you just count. I'm sorry. You count by 2's. So the multiples of 2/5 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10/5. Let's try another one. 3 times 2/5 equals 6/5. Write 6/5 as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So we're going by fifths. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5, 6/5, 7/5, 8/5, and 9/5. So 3 times 2/5 equals 6. Equals 6/5, which is equal to 6 times 1/5. Okay, you might find this a little bit confusing, but you just have to remember when you write in multiples of a fraction, you're just counting by whatever the numerator is. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and the denominator stays the same. Okay. Let's go on to the next one, share and show. Find 3 multiples of 3/8. So it's 1/8, 2/8. This is 3/8. 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8, 9/8, and 10/8. So if you're going to multiply this, you will take the fraction and first multiply it by 1. 1 times 3/8 is 3/8. 2 times 3/8 is 6/8. And 3 times 3/8 is 9/8. Okay, so you've learned 2 things in this chapter. The first chapter is 1, to multiply a whole number by a fraction. Once again, 6 times 2/5 is equal to 6 times 2 is 12. 12. And the denominator stays the same. It also will show, you also learned how to have multiples of a fraction. So as I said, when you have multiples of a fraction, just count by that numerator. So let's see, what are the multiples of 4/5? The multiplies, the next three multiples are 8/5, 12/5, fifths, and 16/5. So those are the multiples, and you know multiples. We've done this in previous chapters. Okay. On your own, I want you to complete pages 463 and 460 on your own. I want you to complete 465 and 466. That's your practice and homework. I also will like you to complete it in Think Central, which I will give you the link. Okay. If you have any problems, Flipgrid may your problem. Thank you.